Hi, I'm Lottie. I'm a yoga and meditation teacher and a mental health first aider. Today I have the pleasure of taking you through a strengthen and release yoga session for your neck. So we're actually going to be focusing on helping to alleviate some of the symptoms that are caused by tech neck. And we're going to be working on strengthening some of the muscles that become quite weak. We're also going to look to release and stretch out some of the muscles that become quite tight. And lastly, we're going to incorporate some relaxation, some mindfulness and breath work to really help to elevate that stretch and release. So let's get started. So we're going to begin our session by focusing on a small amount of mindfulness and breath work. So I want you to find yourself a comfortable seated position, and that can be anywhere that you like. On a chair, on the floor, cross-legged, kneeling, whatever is your preference. Take a moment to just adjust so that you feel super comfortable. And then place your hands somewhere that also feels just comfortable and released. And I want you to see if you can relax the shoulders a little bit. Just draw them down. Relax them down. You're going to start with a soft gaze within the space that you're in today. So just gazing out into the space and not focusing on anywhere in particular. Once you've found that soft gaze, you're going to begin by taking in some breaths consciously. So you're just noticing your breath. You're not necessarily forcing it or changing it, you're just noticing your breath. And we're going to use this breath within these mindfulness sections to anchor, to bring your mind to a point, something to focus on. Now closing your eyes, continuing to focus on your breath. And this time I want you to change your breath. You're going to take 3 nice deep breaths. Breathing in, noticing the expansion, the lifting. Breathing out, noticing that release. And with that last exhale, you're going to softly open the eyes, bringing yourself back into the space that you're in today, that familiar space. So we're going to begin by warming up some of the tissues within the neck before we start strengthening them. So this posture I'm going to show you at a side angle, a side view, so that you can really see what I'm doing with my neck and with my head. So the first movement that we're going to be doing, we're going to be drawing the head straight back. We're going to bring in a finger or 2 fingers and place them on the chin so that we're checking we're not moving the chin down or up. We're just moving the chin back and the head back. So start by relaxing the shoulders down. And you're just releasing them. Then you can lift up and place 1 finger or 2 fingers just gently onto the chin. And we're not going to be pushing back onto the chin, you're just placing the hand there. Take a nice big breath in, sit up nice and tall. And then as you breathe out, you're going to just draw the head straight back. Take a breath in here as you hold the pose. And then breathe out, release. We'll do that again. Take a breath in. Breathe out. Draw the head back. Take a breath in, holding the pose. And then breathe out and release. So the second movement that we're going to be doing is incorporating a little bit of resistance, so actually strengthening some of the muscles within sort of the back and the sides of the neck that maybe become weak when we spend a lot of time hunched over. So just like we did before, I'm going to show you a side angle of this, but actually we're going to add resistance by bringing our hands in. So the movement is exactly the same, we're just adding in the resistance by placing the hands behind us. And actually you could use a resistance band behind the head, or maybe even a dressing gown cord or something just behind the head to add that resistance in. So today we're going to bring the hands in, place them behind the head, interlace the fingers, and you're just going to rest the skull sort of back into the hands. Shoulders nice and relaxed. They will lift a bit as you've lifted the arms up, but just feeling relaxed. Take a nice breath in here, nice big breath. This time as you breathe out, you're going to press the head back into the hands, so straight back just as we did before. You'll feel the muscles switch on through the back of the neck, into the upper back as well, into the shoulders. You're going to take a breath in as you hold the pose here. And then release as you breathe out. We're going to do that one more time, so bring the hands back behind the head, interlace those fingers, take a nice big breath in. Breathe out, draw the head straight back. Take a breath in, holding the pose. And then breathe out, release. So the next movement that we're going to use is actually to manually support creating a nice deep stretch through some of the side muscles of the neck. So we're actually going to be bringing in our hands and placing them and sort of pressing and almost sort of trapping some of the tissues and muscles so that we can lengthen and stretch them out. So I'm going to guide you through it. So you'll notice you've got your, what we would refer to as your collarbone, just here, this bony structure either side of your shoulders, just below your neck. Then you've got your sort of shoulders, this little ridge here coming out to the sides. We're going to find a point between those 2 points. So we'll find a little hollow between your collarbone and the top of your shoulder. You'll notice that it has a sort of triangular shape here in that hollow. And I want you to find the top corner closest to the edge of your shoulder here. So take maybe 2 fingers and just create some little circles there. Have a little feel of that hollow. And find the top corner towards this shoulder. And just press the fingers in, do some little circles. What we're then going to do is we're going to press down into the tissues, and then we're almost going to glide the tissues away. So we're not sliding the fingers across the skin, we're actually gliding the tissues along. So it's a firm pressure in and then gliding across. So it's going to be like a little scooping action. So press down, scoop outwards, take a nice big breath in. And as you breathe out, you're going to bring the opposite ear down to the shoulder. And you'll feel as you do that, there's a little bit of resistance to the side of the neck where we're stretching out some muscles here. As you hold that pose, you're going to take a nice big breath in. And then as you breathe out, you're going to release. Let's do that on the other side. So again, find that triangular shape of that little hollow between your collarbone and shoulder. You're going to find that far corner. Have a little feel with those 2 fingers. Do some little circles, feel the tissues. Then you're going to press down and scoop out to the side. Take a nice big breath in. Breathe out, opposite ear down to the opposite side. Take a breath in as you hold the pose. Breathe out and release. So the final part is to work on a bit of relaxation and breath work, and almost a little bit of self-massage. So I'm actually going to turn myself all the way around because we're going to be applying some pressures onto a sort of ridge area of the skull, somewhere between the skull and the neck. So I'm going to show you those briefly, and then we're going to close the eyes and I'm going to guide you with my voice through some pressures and circles all along that ridge. That's really going to help release some tension. And we're going to use our breath again to really amplify those results. So we're going to be using our thumbs and just gently placing our fingers onto our skull. So bring the thumbs down to almost your hairline, just where it meets the neck. Take the thumbs apart a little bit and then glide them upwards. You're going to find a point where the neck meets the ridge of the skull. And I want you to pause just at that point that it meets, almost under a little ridge. Just gently rest the fingers on the skull. And you're going to apply a little bit of a pressure here, and we're going to do some circles. We're then going to work our way down to a middle point between the top and behind the ears. So middle point of that ridge, just underneath that ridge. And then finally work our way down to sort of the bottom edges of that ridge behind the ears. And again, we'll apply some pressure and take some circles. So glide the thumbs back up, find that position just at the top where the neck meets the skull. Rest those fingers on the skull, close the eyes. Before we do anything, take a nice big breath in and breathe out. This time, as you breathe in, find that little place, that little sort of ridge. Take a nice big breath in, press into that point. And as you breathe out, you're going to take some little circles again into the tissues, not just onto the surface of the skin. Release as you take a breath in and glide the thumbs down to that middle point between the top and behind the ears. Again, fingers are just resting, they're not crushing. Take a breath in, apply the pressure. Breathe out, incorporate some circles. And this might be a little bit tender. As you breathe in, release. Glide the fingers down, the thumbs down, just behind the ears. Find the bottom edge of that ridge. And again, on your next inhale, apply a pressure. And then breathe out, draw some circles. You can adjust the pressure if it feels quite tender. Take a breath in and release the hands all the way down. So keeping the eyes closed, relax your hands onto the legs, onto wherever feels comfortable. Release and relax the shoulders. Feel a softness through the face. And come back to the anchor that is your breath. So just pausing to just notice your breath. You're not changing it or altering it. You're just noticing the rise and fall. And then allowing your mind to focus on whatever it wants with the eyes still closed. Allow the mind to wander to wherever it wants to. And then bring the mind back to focusing on the anchor that is your breath. I want you to take 2 nice, big, deep breaths. On that second exhale, I want you to softly open the eyes. Not moving, but just coming back into the space. That familiar space that you're in. And for a moment, I just want you to notice how your mind and body feels. How does it feel to slow down? To focus on your breath? To work on strengthening and also releasing tension within the neck and shoulders. I hope that this session has been really helpful for you, and we'll give you some exercises, some relaxation techniques, and also even a little bit of self-massage that you can use. Thank you so much for joining me. Namaste.